The climate change situation is getting out of our individual hands. Growing plants in your balcony garden, switching off lights when not in use, or planting more trees will not cut anymore. We need bigger steps, policy-level changes, systemic changes, procedural shifts, and large-scale implementation and innovation. Time is running out. It's time for our institutions, our business conglomerates, our governments to do the heavy lifting. And we, as responsible citizens, must stay aware and alert, and if needed, demand action. Hello Earthlings! Hope you're well and wonderful. In this episode, I compile a few answers to the most commonly asked questions posed before popular conservationists and environmentalists. These hopefully will show what you and I might continue to do to catalyze action, as small little bits. The first thing anyone needs to do when they start working on something is to make a start. Say, set dedicated time to explore your home planet. What I mean is, start by knowing, learning, understanding. Observe what is happening around you. Find out why these are happening. When we become complacent, we stop improving and others take charge. Just what is happening with us now. The science behind climate change is not easy. It's not easy for everyone to access it. Set your intention and start learning, and you will gradually figure out. There are resources, writers, journalists, volunteers that are trying to make climate information easily accessible and understandable for all. There are multiple newsletters that you can subscribe to, podcasts that you can listen, books that you can read to know the basics. If you want to keep it light and easy, click the like button, ask your questions in the comments, and I'll appear with answers. If you want to know about the top 10 climate keywords, check out this small video here. To find out how our environment, climate, food, social well-being, even our economics are all interlinked, click on this video below. I'll put everything in the description box, so no worries. One way to learn and understand is by observation. Step outdoors. Walk around your neighborhood. When you go for a drive, try to understand the topography of the place. Identify the trees. Are there any water bodies, lakes, rivers, streams nearby? There's so much we can learn by loitering around in the neighborhood. It's a bummer no one tells us that. Until 5-6 years ago, we had agricultural fields growing maize and paddy near my home, which have now been damaged, ruined by constructions and land use changes. Do you have open meadows or barren lands around where you live? Are you strapped up by factories and manufacturing hubs on all sides? You are not expected to do anything other than observing. Watch, absorb. The attempt is to get familiar with the place where you live, because we have forgotten to do that. Maybe take your friends along, but make it a routine. There are 2 direct benefits to this exercise, conservationists say. It reminds us that we are a part of nature. We are so cut off from nature, especially as urban citizens, that we forget that we are members of this ecosystem. One of the reasons we lost our trees and local water bodies was our general neglect, because we took them for granted. And as we developed and our lifestyles changed, we forgot their roles in our community lives. We forgot that even if we draw water from the RO machine, the water actually comes from our streams, rivers, and aquifers. The other benefit you generate by engaging with your immediate environment is, and this is what several conservationists have emphasized repeatedly, your engagement with your neighborhood shoos away wrongdoers. Encroachers, wildlife traffickers, people cutting down trees or damaging natural resources in any way. When you start showing up, when you demonstrate that you care, they become careful. Once you start understanding the ecosystem in your neighborhood, you can easily figure out what's missing, what needs to be done. But hold on, we are not doing anything as of yet, other than meeting people. Connect with the people that live around you. Where do they live? How do they live? Are there multi-storied buildings or informal settlements around your place? Who are these people? Do they smile at you? Respond when you greet them? Are there wise old natives who can tell you stories of the land? Are the people who you want to connect with? Are the celebrities, artists, activists, politicians, teachers, leaders? Connecting with people is useful not only because they can help you learn, but also to increase your power. You can acquire immense wisdom from people who are native to the place, because they are the ones who can tell you what the space was like before it was concretized or changed. What flora or fauna were endemic to this region? Since adequate maps and land use information are not always available and accessible, this information is precious. Connecting with locals would make it easier to form groups of like-minded people, organize gatherings, run campaigns, or conduct drives to inspire positive changes in the area. Inspire changes, form educated opinions. And once you have found your tribe and identified changes that are necessary in your neighborhood, you are ready to float ideas around implementing, say, rainwater harvesting in the community, large-scale composting, reviving a water body, or simply bringing back trees specific to the region. All this become easier to accomplish because you have put in the time and effort for the base work. Once you have done your homework, you probably have gained the knowledge and developed connections and trust with people that enable you to educate community members on the need for, say, waste segregation. In fact, encourage them to reduce their contribution to the landfills or stop using single-use plastics or bring in solar-powered systems for community lighting. You are now engaging with the earth and helping its people engage too. When people understand, feel concerned by the effects of climate change on their lives and livelihoods, they demand changes. And when people collectively demand changes, governments and corporations have to listen. Ignorance is no more a bliss. Ignorance is dangerous. Staying informed has never been so important. Remember, it's time for course correction, and the cost of inaction is huge. I'll see you in my next.